quiet. First up on the agenda is roll call. Nelson, I'm passing the mic to you.
Yes, hello everyone. Nelson Ejong is my name, IVSA Expo. When I call out your MO, you stand up and then you say present in your local language. Is that okay? IVSA Belgium, IVSA Bosnia and Herzegovina, IVSA Brazil, IVSA Colombia, IVSA Croatia, IVSA Czech Republic, IVSA Denmark, IVSA Egypt, IVSA France, IVSA Germany, IVSA Greece, IVSA Indonesia, IVSA Ireland, IVSA Italy, IVSA Latvia, IVSA Mexico, IVSA Morocco, IVSA Peru, IVSA Philippines, IVSA Serbia, IVSA Slovenia, IVSA South Africa, IVSA South Korea, IVSA Switzerland, IVSA Switzerland, IVSA Taiwan, IVSA Trinidad and Tobago, IVSA the Netherlands, IVSA Tunisia, IVSA Uganda, IVSA UK, IVSA USA, so today's quorum stands at 56.86%. Thank you so much.
All right, perfect. Next up on the agenda is nominations for Executive Committee 2022-2023. All right. That means I'm reopening nominations for Executive Committee 2022-2023. 1 second. Please be reminded that today is the final day of nominations, so they're going to close after this. Are there any nominations for Executive Committee? Okay, Ahmed first.
Ahmed Hafiz, IVSA Egypt. I nominate Lauren Varkonta from IVSA Mexico for the position of ERO.
Lauren, do you accept?
I accept.
Are there any other nominations? Bela?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bill Besmer, IVSA USA. I nominate James Calagiuri from IVSA Ireland for Secretary General.
So exciting. All right. Perfect. Are there any other nominations for Executive Committee? I'm seeing so many hands. All right, Uns first.
Unsut Borbi, IVSA Tunisia. I nominate Suwaida Boud Anisa from IVSA and Tunisia for the position of Committee Coordinator.
Is there anyone that can accept on her behalf?
Loren from Planta, IVSA Exco. I accept on behalf of Anissa.
All right, any other nominations? Constantina.
Thank you. Constantina Luca, IVSA Greece. I nominate Edison Brown for the position of ERO.
Ellison, do you accept?
Yes.
Lovely. Oh, yes, okay, I will do it away. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Ellison?
Alison Brown, IVSA, Trinidad and Tobago. I would like to nominate Mohana Marath from IVSA India for Treasurer.
Okay, is there someone here to accept on their behalf?
Tara, IVSA Slovenia. I accept on her behalf.
The second one. So I would like to nominate Karina Katic from IVSA Trinidad and Tobago for the position of Committee Coordinator.
All right. Is there someone to accept on her behalf?
Loren from Planta, IVSA Exco. I accept on Karina's behalf.
All right. I'm going to quickly ask the people that were just nominated if they want to run for Secretariat, Trust, or Regional Rep if they're not to be elected to Exco. So Alison, Katerina, does she want to run for Secretariat, Trust, or Regional Rep?
She wants to run for Secretary, and it's
Karina, sorry. Okay. Alison, do you want to run? You already said no last time.
Yeah, I was saying how to think. I run for Trust.
Okay, thank you, perfect.
It's for Secretariat Committee Coordinator, Karina.
She wants to run for committee coordinator. Okay. Let's see who else I just added. Lauren, do you want to run for? Lauren wants to run for trust. Okay. Then someone else ran for treasurer. Who was just nominated for treasurer? All right. Does she want to run for trust, regional rep, or secretary?
She would run for secretary.
Okay, thank you. James, if you were not to be elected to Secretary General, do you want to run for another position? As Secretary. Perfect. Thank you. Do we know if Anissa wants to run for something else? Regional rep. Okay, perfect. I think those are all. And I'll be a little slower because Yuri cannot type very fast.
Regional representative of what?
Her region. Yuri, can you let me know if I'm ready to continue? Alright, are you guys good to go? Are there any other nominations for Exco? Yes.
Susanna Salvatori, IVSA Italy, I want to nominate Vanda Ducic of IVSA Croatia for an MOD.
Ooh. Do you accept?
I accept.
Yeah. Are there any other nominations for Exco? Yeah, over to IVSA Denmark.
Nicoline Dorn-Wille-Lacour from IVSA Denmark. I would like to nominate Carol Edel for PRC.
Carol, do you want to run? First, do you accept?
I accept.
Do you want to run for secretary or regional rep?
Can I run for chair?
Or trust? You can't run for chair. Yeah, she was secretary. She can run for trust.
Okay, so I can run for trust.
Okay, you want to run for trust? Okay. Vanda, did you want to run for anything else? Regional rep. Okay. Perfect. Allison?
I nominated Mohana for treasurer, but I just saw her under something else.
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
Treasurer.
Yes. Oh, I think I also put it there. Yes. Are there any other nominations for Exco? Go to IVSA Denmark again.
Emily Barger from IVSA Denmark. I'd like to nominate Karina Rednisa from IVSA Indonesia for the Secretariat.
secretary, but she's...
No, yes. You're next. Wait for a bit. Can we get the name from the girl from IVSA, the other girl from IVSA Denmark, for the minutes and the election committee?
It's Nicoline, Nicoline.
All right. Are there any other nominations for EXCO? Matthias?
Matthias Grempler, IVSA Germany. I want to nominate Trinity Dockery from IVSA Ireland as Secretary General.
There's some Irish competition going on. How exciting!
I accept.
All right, perfect. Do you want to run for
Secretariat?
Secretariat, okay. James wanted to also run for Secretariat. Are there any other nominations for Executive Committee? The lights are already turned off. I can see what I can do for you. You guys don't mind sitting in the darkness? Okay. All right, we'll do. Any other? No, yes.
Zelina Kruse, IVSA Latvia. I nominate Artur Kobayashi, IVSA Brazil, for the secretary.
Oh no, Secretariat is later on. We're still doing Exco.
Okay.
You can go later again. Any other nominations for Exco? Matthias? Matthias, you've nominated like 20 people. You do realize you'll have to speak on behalf of each one of them?
Matthias Grempler, IVSA Germany. I want to nominate Nidhi Kaunekar from IVSA India as Arrow.
Okay. Is there anyone to accept on her behalf?
John Michael Kahana, IVSA Philippines. I accept on her behalf.
Perfect. Do we know if she wants to run for regional rep? Okay. Thank you, Tessa. Are there any other nominations for Executive Committee 2022-2023? All right. Perfect. Then nominations are now closed forever, and good luck with elections. Next up on the agenda, nominations for chairs of standing and candidate committees and networks. Any nominations for chair? Allison. Oh, okay. Whatever. Ahmed first, it's fine.
Ahmed Hafiz, IVSA Egypt. I nominate Nahima Obima from IVSA Nigeria for the Wild and Exotic Network.
Is there someone to accept on her behalf?
Lorraine from Planta, IVSA Exco. I accept on her behalf.
Any other nominations? South Korea.
Captain Yu from IVSA South Korea. I would like to nominate Laura Rodman from IVSA Croatia for White Exotic team.
but you didn't get it, because I didn't get it. That doesn't matter, but if you don't get it, you need to say so. All right, will you tell me when you get their names? Did someone accept on behalf of... Oh, then she accepts. Do you accept?
I accept. Woo!
Yes? Are there any other nominations for chair?
Alison Brown, IVSA, Trinidad and Tobago. I would like to nominate Constantina Luca for the position of the chair of wellness.
Any other nominations for chair?
I have 3. Can I do them all at once, or do you want me to?
Just make sure you do it slowly, because they're over there typing names and it's hard for them sometimes.
So, Katarina Fielding, IVSA USA, I nominate Mariah D., IVSA USA for Standing Committee Chair on Career Attributes.
Is there someone to accept on her behalf?
Rachel Kamishki, IVSA USA. I accept on her behalf.
Perfect, that's what we wanted to hear. Okay, next up. Yeah. Oh, here.
Katarina Fielding, IVSA USA, I nominate Piper Gauthier, IVSA USA.
Just 1 second.
I need the name of who accepted and who was nominated for...
Mariah D. from IVSA USA was nominated. What was your name again?
Rachel Kamishki.
Rachel Kamishki. First one, yes. IVSA USA as well. Yeah? Okay.
Katarina Fielding, IVSA USA, I nominate Piper Gauthier, IVSA USA for chair of the Wild and Exotic Network.
Okay. Thank you. Is there someone to accept on her behalf?
Juliet Nye, IVSA USA, I accept on her behalf.
Thank you. Yuli? Katarina Fielding, Piper Gauthier, and then Julia. Julia.
Katarina Fielding, IVSA USA, I nominate Alexander Mayu, IVSA USA for chair of the Wild and Exotic Network.
Is there someone to accept on their behalf?
Bayla Bessemer, IVSA USA, I accept on their behalf. Bayla Bessemer, B-A-Y-L-A.
Perfect. That's efficient. Yuli? Alexander. Hold on 1 second before you speak. Yuli, good? Yes. Matthias, you go.
Matthias Krempler, IVSA Germany, again. I want to nominate Favor Francis Chinanto Ofili from IVSA Nigeria as chair for SCA.
Is that SCA Animal Welfare, SCA Wellness?
SCA Animal Welfare, yeah.
And can you repeat their name, please?
It's Favor Francis, so Favor F-A-V-O-U-R SIS. Then it's Chinonso, so CHINONSO, and Ophilie, that's OFILI.
Is there someone to accept on her behalf? His behalf. Sorry. Their behalf.
Ayman Hamdoun, IVSA Morocco, I accept on his behalf.
Thank you. Can I get a thumbs up from the EC? Can I get a thumbs up from the election committee, please?
Yes, I'm good.
Sylvia Collette, IVSA Germany. I nominate Anastasia Viola from IVSA UK for the chair of Ecoin and Network.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Anastasia.
Anyone from this row? No. No one from this row? No one from this row?
Vonda.
Vanda Ducic, IVSA Croatia. I want to nominate Soraya Kuchlar-Muftic from IVSA Bosnia and Herzegovina for a position of Ecoin Network Chair.
Okay.
I accept.
Perfect. All right, next nomination.
Hi.
Oh, wait 1 second, maybe. Oh. Could you give your name? Sylvia. Sylvia. All right, now you can go.
Letícia Martucci from IVSA Brazil, and I'd like to nominate Anandu Hajaji from IVSA India to SCOCA chair.
Could you maybe give that information to them? I feel like those were complicated names.
I have it there.
Can someone accept on their behalf?
I accept on his behalf.
Perfect. All right, next nomination. Are there any other nominations for chair? All right, seeing none, nominations are now closed forever. Next up on the agenda. You are so fast all the time. Okay, Ellison, you go. Nominations for regional rep are reopened. Ellison, he was very enthusiastic.
Alison Brown, IVSA Trinidad and Tobago. It's like a friendly amendment. I misread my list. Mohana's second position for treasurer, yes. Her second position will be regional rep for Asia.
Instead of secretary?
Yes.
Perfect. Yes. All right, moving on. Are there any other nominations for regional rep?
Yes. Constantina Luca, I say Greece. I nominate Matteo Carnevale for regional representative of Europe.
Matteo Carnevale, IVSA Italy, I do accept.
All right. Any other nominations for regional rep? Okay. Any other nominations for regional rep? We're still missing Mina. So, Mina people, let's go. Okay, nominations are closed. Next up on the agenda, nominations for Secretariat. Yes.
I'm gonna start. Okay, first. Alejandra Vargas, IVSA Peru. Eugene Abafiao IVSA Ghana for Secretary.
Is there someone to accept on his behalf? You accept? Yes, perfect. All right. Any other nominations?
Yeah.
Continue.
Alejandra Vargas, IVSA Peru. Jenny Valencia, IVSA Peru.
Is there someone to accept on her behalf?
I accept on her behalf.
Okay, perfect. The same girl from Peru.
I have another one. Yes. Luis Campos, IVSA Peru.
Is there someone to accept on their behalf?
I accept on his behalf.
You need to state your name and country.
Tamina Grana, IVSA Peru. I accept on his behalf.
Thank you. All right. Any other nominations for Secretariat?
Tamina Grana, IVSA Peru. I would like to nominate Camila Salvatierra from IVSA Peru for Secretariat.
Do we have an...
Alejandra Vargas, IVSA Peru. I accept on her behalf.
Okay. And what was her name?
Camila, Camila, and her last name is, I don't have it here, but
it's fine.
I'm silent. I know, but just,
all right. You accepted, perfect. Any other nominations for Secretariat? Oh, Yuri needs the last name.
I need your last name.
Guys? No. You're like not even close. I tried. All right. Any other nominations for Secretariat? First, South Korea. Oh, Amanda.
Hello.
Yeah.
Come to you from IVSA South Korea. I nominate Mutia, IVSA Indonesia for Secretariat.
All right. Yuri, did you get the name?
Sama Dr. Hara, IVSA Philippines, I accept.
No. Last name. Yeah.
Do you need the last name or?
This is not this. Just focus on what we've lead the conversation. You can come here, it's easy. Yeah.
It's always fun to spell all these wonderful names. All right, John, now you get to.
Sama Dr. Hara, IVSA Philippines, I accept on her behalf.
Perfect. Just a quick note, if you're nominating people and also later on during the GA, please don't rush over your names because there's people trying to take minutes. Just really clearly state out your name and entity, so it's going to be easier for them to note it down. Okay? Then that means we won't also have to ask you guys 5 times in a row. Thanks. All right. Next nomination for Secretariat, Ellison.
Alison Brown, IVSA Trinidad and Tobago. I would like to nominate Younes Uma from IVSA Morocco for Secretary. The spelling is YOUNESS. Last name Uma, O-U-N-A. And there's 2 S's.
Okay. Is there someone to accept on his behalf?
Constantina Luca, IVSA Greece, I accept on their behalf.
Perfect. Thank you. Ellison, next one.
Taha Rahmani from IVSA Morocco. So T-A-H. T-A-H-A-R-A-H-M-A-N-I.
Adnan, do you have a question? Can you please take a microphone? Can someone bring a microphone to Adnan?
Adnan Imri, IVSA Exco.
Yes?
Please only accept in behalf of people you've talked to about accepting, just in case.
Perfect. Yes, that is very true. Don't just accept if you haven't spoken to the people themselves.
And I accept on behalf of Tara.
All right. I got plenty of time. Okay. Next nomination for Secretariat. John?
John Michael Trajano, IVSA Philippines. I nominate Martina Marina from IVSA Indonesia for Secretary.
Martina, do you accept?
Martina Marina, Bahasa Indonesia, accept.
Okay. Great job on pronouncing your names a little more slowly. I like it. Next nomination.
Zurina Kuza, IVSA Latvia. I nominate Arthur Kobayashi, IVSA Brazil for Secretariat.
Arthur?
Hey, Arthur Kobayashi, desde Brazil, I accept.
Woo! All right. Any other nominations for Secretariat? Oh. Slovenia, so many hands. Can I go now? Next one?
Alison Brown, IVSA Trinidad and Tobago. I would like to nominate Nicole Sam from IVSA Guyana.
Is it correct? What is incorrect?
E. Yeah.
Constantine Luca, IVSA Greece, I accept on their behalf. Constantine Luca, IVSA Greece, I accept on their behalf.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any other nominations for Secretariat? Slovenia. Whoever wants to go first.
Francisco para IVSA Slovenia. I want to nominate John Peng, IVSA Taiwan for Secretariat.
Who?
John Peng, IVSA Taiwan.
Okay. Is John here? Is there anyone to accept on their behalf? Martina.
Martina Marina, Bahasa Indonesia, accept on his behalf.
Okay, perfect. Back to Slovenia.
Method coach from IVSA Slovenia. I want to nominate Susanna Salvatore from IVSA Italy for Secretariat.
Susanna?
Susanna Salvatore, IVSA, ready, I accept.
Perfect. All right. Yes. Next nomination.
Emily Bagger from IVSA Denmark. I'd like to nominate Karina Rednisse, IVSA Indonesia.
Could you please repeat that again?
Karina Rednisa. Yeah. RETNYSSA.
Okay. Is this correct?
We can see.
Oh, it's too small for you guys? I got it right. Just believe me. All right. Are there any other nominations for Secretariat? Oh, can someone accept on their behalf? Is someone here to accept on their behalf? John?
John Michael Kahana, IVSA Philippines.
Thank you. Next nomination.
Aneta Knaustova, IVSA Czech Republic. I'd like to nominate Eva Zachová from IVSA Czech Republic. EVA ZACH.
Huh?
Eva Zachová, IVSA Czech Republic, and accept.
Okay. Perfect. Oh. Can you repeat the name of the person being nominated?
Very slowly.
Very slowly.
Do you want me to spell it?
Yes.
EVA.
Oh, okay. So who's nominating? What's your name, please?
My name? Aneta Knaustova.
First name.
Mine or her?
Your first name.
ANETA.
Okay.
ANEN, like knife.
Are you at them?
All right. Are there any other nominations for Secretariat? Yes. Oh. You need more time? The chair will now entertain a motion to stand at ease for 2 minutes. Lauren von Planta.
Lauren von Planta, IVSA Exco, I so move.
Good job. Is there any discussion on standing at ease for 2 minutes? Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now standing at ease for 2 minutes. This means you cannot leave the room. They're going to need it to figure some things out real quickly. Guys, sit down. All right, I'm calling the GA back to order at 4:09 p.m. Brazil time. Please, shh. Thank you. All right, before we move on with the next agenda point, I'm just going to continue speaking over you. I'm holding the microphone, so I will be louder. Before we continue with the agenda, the chair will now entertain a motion to untable the agenda point on voting on the base factor. What do we do when the chair entertains a motion? Tara.
Tara Česnik, IVSA Slovenia, I so move.
Perfect. All right. Is there any discussion on untabling this agenda point? I will quickly discuss it. It's still part of GA3. We're now in GA4. We want to finish GA3 before we continue with GA4. Any other discussion on untabling the agenda point? Any objections? Seeing none. The agenda point is untabled and we're going to continue with GA3. All right. Voting on the base factor. I hope you all read all the documents that were being sent to you. I hope you're all back. I hope you all know what we're going to talk about now. So, just to freshen up your mind, the last thing we did was, I need my hands to type. We crossed out 40 and we made it 37. And that was a motion done by Josue. So, I don't know how to strike through in Google Slides, so I'm just going to keep it like this. Just so we can continue this discussion, is Josue here? No. I wanted to give him the floor to explain again, but I guess that's not happening. So, is there any discussion on the motion to change the approval of the base factor to 37 instead of 40? John, I'm hearing someone say your name, so I feel like you're supposed to have a point on this. Is there any discussion on the amendment to the motion? Constantina.
Yes, Constantina IVSA agrees. I would like to ask, it's a point of information.
Point of information?
Yes, so we're talking about voting on this, accepting it or saying no to it, and then we would vote if we would accept the change to 37, right? Meaning that after, now we're striking at 40, we would vote to strike at 40 and accept 37, and then we would vote to see if we would go from 35 to 37.
Indeed. Okay. So, just to reiterate again, if we're going to go to a vote on this amendment now, all we're changing is the phrasing of the initial motion. We're not yet accepting it. So we're only going to go from approving the base factor to 37 instead of what it said previously, approving the base factor at 40. After that, we're going to have a discussion on the initial motion again with the changed number, and then we're going to go to a vote with the 37. Also a quick reminder, we can never change the number again because the GA will then already have voted on it. Luren?
Loren from Hunter, IVSA, so point of information. So what should the delegate do if they don't want 35, 40 or 37?
If you don't want 35, 40 or 37, you say something when I ask for discussion, then you explain your reasoning with the GA, and then once we go to a vote, you disagree with this amendment. So you either object or you raise your red cards depending on what vote I'm going to call. That's what you do when you don't agree. Then when it doesn't go through, it's going to stay at 40, and that's what happens. And then you can amend it again with a number of your wish. All clear? Good. Any other discussion on the amendment to the motion? All right. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion is amended, and we're going to put it at 37 instead of 40. Now, we're back to the original motion on the floor, including the amendment. I move to approve the base factor at 37 in the next term. So, is there any discussion on this motion? Constantina.
Constantina Luca, I disagree, it's probably last thing. What I wanted to say is more like a comment. We discussed strongly with different MOs that yes, this change should be done because we need this change, and so for all the reasons that we discussed already. But I would like to mention that maybe this could be a good opportunity to discuss about the DD funds that usually go to the countries with a low GDP, but other MOs that are not in a country with a low GDP might need help when we have problems with the fees. So I think I checked the bylaws, and there's not something that's there's not a point, and this could be a parliamentary inquiry, whatever it's called, to make sure that that is true, that there's not a bylaw or a point that says that middle GDP countries cannot have support from the DD fund. And I would like to say that it would be important for the MOs that have problems to be able to get this help from the DD fund, since if we were to get this 37 base factor as the IMF base factor. That's all.
All right. Thank you for your notion. I will make sure to relay that information to Adnan, seeing that he's not here now. Is there any other discussion on moving to approve the base factor at 37 in the next term? Seeing none, I would like to go to a vote now. Since we had quite an extensive discussion on this last time, I would like to go for a card-raising vote, just so you guys can properly explain and show whether or not you're in agreement or in disagreement. So, quickly to explain what we're going to do now, did everyone bring their cards? If you don't have your cards, please raise your hand. Your cards are in quarantine. That's very Croatia. You don't have cards. Expo, do we have additional cards? Oh, okay. Do you have 2 phones? Okay, the chair will now entertain a motion to stand at ease for 3 minutes. Tara. Any discussion on standing at ease? Any objections? Can all the countries that don't have their cards please come up front? All the countries that don't have their cards with them, please come up front.
Hey guys, who needs cards? Okay, so again, I'm gonna give you the cards. Keep your cards with you because you need to use it for voting.
Preach. Now, on to our vote. So what's going to happen, I'm going to call the vote. You guys are going to raise your cards. Every country raises 2 cards. It can be either a green one or a red one. The green one means for. So when you raise your green cards, you're agreeing to increasing the base factor from 35 to 37. If you disagree with changing the base factor from 35 to 37, you raise your red cards and you're against the motion. If you want to abstain, you do not lift your cards at all. Guys, it's very important you all understand what this voting means so you do it correctly. Are there people that require time to discuss how they want to vote with their MO? Did you all figure out what you wanted to vote on before? All right. Does anyone else have any other questions about how we're going to vote on this? Is it clear for everyone? Okay, then countries, please take your cards and vote. Everyone at the same time, raise your cards. Bosnia and Herzegovina does not have voting rights yet. No. Everyone, raise your cards, please. All right. Thank you very much. I see over a simple majority, which means the motion passes, and we have agreed to increase our base factor from 35 to 37. Thank you. All right, great job. Next up on the agenda, presentation and approval of the annual budget for the term 2022-2023. And Nina.
Alright, hi guys, I'm Nina. And good job on actually eventually getting the base factor in order. So, for our annual budget, I will be presenting for the year 2022-2023. So here is one of our first slide, which is the second Exco Live meeting, and the price for that is $6,400. And again, we do not have the other live meetings because they are inside the symposium and Congress. Okay. So for the symposium, we have a budget of 10,035 euros. For the Congress in Denmark, we have 9,000 euros. For the officials' travel expenses, we do have 12,100 euros. Additional travel expenses, we have 25,590 euros. And our committee expenses, that sums up to 10,000 euros. Next, we have network expenses for the alumni, which is 5,000 euros. DAD projects, 1,687.50. And then MOD, we have 800 euros. For merchandise, we have 600 euros. And for the web page, we have 690 euros. For publications and information, we have 840 euros. Bank and office charges, we have 800 euros. Reserve fund of 9,336.82 euros, which we have a total of 88,879.32, and an addition of unexpected expenses, which is 4,443.97 euros, which ends up with a total expense of 93,323.29 euros. So we go to our income. Hey, look at that, the base factor is automatically there. Yay. So for the calculation, we're gonna be having 17,548.57 euros solely from membership fees. Then we're gonna have CF tax from the two events, which sums up to 6,440 euros. And then we have our sponsors. Thank you, Purina.
thank you, BBC! And I would like to also thank, even though they're not here, the other sponsors, because, you know, they're important. So for our sponsors, we have a total of 38,937.50 euros, and we have 0 for unexpected income. So for our income, our total would be 64,052.50 euros. Now for the totals of totals. So we have the total income plus the bank. We have the 10% because the term is not yet finished, so we gave 10% for the remaining days of this term. So for the total expenses, we minus that from the total income, and we're gonna have a movement of negative 30,397.21 euros. So that is our budget. Does anyone have any comments or questions?
Susanna.
Susanna Salvatori, Itinerary. I just wanted to ask why. I mean, I've seen between the slides the voice GA booklet. I was wondering why. I mean, I think we should keep it on, like. I mean, help me out. Yeah, like ebook version of the GA booklet, not just because it saves money, but because also it saves paper. So I was asking why not, you know, keep it a ebook.
All right. Actually, Anina should have just made the motion first. So technically that was out of order, but not your fault. So Anina.
Nina Manangit, IVSA Exco, I move to approve the budget.
Is there any other discussion on moving to approve the budget? Tessa?
Tessa van Duinen, IVSA in the Netherlands. I was wondering if it could be explained why there's a difference between the income and the expenses, because I think not everybody has noticed it, but there is a difference, and I guess it's good you know why.
Tessa, could you please repeat your question? That was very fast.
I am sorry, I will stop being so Dutch. Can you explain why there's a difference between the incomes and the expenses? Because as people might have seen, it's 30,000 euros, and I guess it's good that people know why.
So every year we do have a difference.
Okay. Yes?
So, Yuri, IVSA Exco. So, can I reply both questions at once? Yeah, you can. Can I reply both questions at once? Okay, thank you very much. So, first one. Yeah, so the reason we keep 300 euros, the reason we keep 200 euros for the booklet is just in case of any instability with Wi-Fi connection in the place we're doing the event. We actually do not plan to use this budget, but is there in case it's needed. The difference between the income and expenses being like 30,000 euros is because all the expenses are budget higher since we consider our attendance of our officials at all events. And the income is always budgeted lower since we do not consider unexpected income such as new partnerships, change in the number of members, and those kinds of things. Thanks.
All right, is there any other discussion on approving the budget? Seeing none, are there any objections to approving the budget for the next term? Seeing none, once again, motion passes, budget is approved. All right, now back to GA4, partner presentation from IVC Evidencia. I have a video for that. Give me 1 second to pull it up.
More specifically, our graduate academy. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us today. My name is Sam Parsons. I'm a Senior Talent Partner here at IVC Evidencia, and today we are going to talk to you about a company and the career opportunities available to start a brilliant future with us. More specifically, our Graduate Academy programme in the UK and Ireland.
Yeah, good afternoon and thank you again for joining us. I'm Christopher Long, I'm the Talent Business Manager for the Graduate Academy, and my role is basically overseeing the whole of the recruitment function and managing the team of talent partners to get you all enrolled and onboarded onto our Graduate Academy.
As Christopher mentioned, my role within IVC Evidencia is to recruit new graduates onto our Graduate Academy programme and support our practices in that process too. So if you do decide to apply after today, you'll certainly see our faces again during interviews. So today we're going to go through a variety of information, starting with who are IVC Evidencia and what we do, where we are located, the support we have available, the benefits and rewards that you get as an employee of IVC Evidencia, career opportunities and how to apply to our Graduate Academy programme.
So who are IVC Evidencia? So IVC Evidencia are Europe's largest veterinary care provider, comprising an expansive network of clinics, hospitals and out-of-hours centres based across 17 countries. We really do invest in our people, our premises and processes to provide clinical excellence. Now, our mission is bringing together people to make animal care better. We believe that nurturing and investing in our staff brings success in practice. This is all underpinned by our values. So we care for animals, we care for people, and we keep our promises. We treat each other with decency and respect. We dare to innovate, encourage entrepreneurial thinking, and identify opportunities to succeed in a changing world. And we share knowledge, best practice, and make decisions based on trust, dialogue, commitment, and engagement.
Being a large group, we also have some other fantastic companies under the IVC Evidencia umbrella. One such company is Vets Now. They are an out-of-hours and emergency and critical care provider in the UK with a number of hospitals as well as vets based in practices covering night shifts. So this means for you there are wider development opportunities. Vets now have their own programs as a supportive route into emergency and critical care. So once finished our graduate academy, you can move on to the Vets Now program if desired. Now, as mentioned, we have a vast network of practices. This doesn't just include the UK and Ireland, but also other European countries such as Sweden, Finland, the Netherlands, Norway, Denmark, Spain, France, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium and Portugal. We have also this year merged with a vet group in Canada called Vet Strategy. So further opportunities in other countries are absolutely available to you within the company. On the screen I have put a couple of images of some of our UK practices, and I wanted to show you how individual they are. There's no IVSA evidentia branding and they are very unique. For the UK and Ireland Graduate Academy programme I'm discussing today, we have over 350 of these practices signed up in almost every corner of the country for our 2022 intake. We'll have much more as well moving forward into future intakes. So this ranges from small animal, mixed farm to equine roles in our first opinion practices, hospitals and even some referral sites, all practices with a combination of the three. When you apply to the Graduate Academy, we will discuss all the available options to you in your preferred area and we'll make suggestions based on your preferences and interests. We really do have something for everyone. So to help build your skills and experience in preparation for our Graduate Academy, we also have a structured EMS programme for our small animal practices. Not only is this a great way to help you secure EMS placements in our practices, but it's a fantastic way of getting to know IVSA evidentia. Around 30% of our new graduates on the Academy are from EMS placements, so it's definitely worth building those connections early on. If you're looking for a farm placement, you can contact the email address on the screen separately and the team will be able to assist you. We have an expansive list of practices to choose from. You'll be asked to upload your CV, complete a few details and write a cover letter. Some key things to include in the cover letter are why you want to apply for EMS with IVSA evidentia, what motivates you, what your future goals are. To apply, please visit our website by using the QR code on screen. So our Graduate Academy programme consists of 3 layers of support. First, a dedicated academy coach. So that's a vet in practice that has volunteered themselves to be day-to-day support for you, helping you build your skills and develop confidence. Secondly, we have a fantastic Cpd Program. This is additional structured learning on top of your day-to-day role, designed to cover all that you need to know and to support development of those important skills in those first 2 years of practice. You get around 12 days Cpd each year, plus additional online learning too. This is allocated time during your working week where all graduates come together and do their learning, which brings me on to the 3rd layer of support, which is peer support. No matter which practice you are in, you will start the academy at the same time as everybody else, which is in October every year, creating a valuable support network of people just like you going through the same challenges and development. I'm now going to play you a short video to introduce you to our Graduate Academy.
Sorry.
Spain.
Portugal.
Singapore.
West Yorkshire.
Belfast.
Newport, South Wales.
Spain. Wolverhampton.
Ontario, Canada.
Rainworth. London. East Devon.
Malaysia. The Netherlands.
Romania.
Spain. My name is Julian Sanchez. I've studied in Spain all my degree. Maybe in November, IVSA comes to my university to take a conference and explain us the terms, all the stuff. And I thought it was very interesting for develop my career in a new country with a new language. I think it's very good because of the support they give you and the opportunities you have to improve.
So I started in practice last Monday, so I've only been in practice for a total of 8 days.
My name is Carrie Daly, and I'm a small animal vet at Coombs Veterinary Hospital in East Devon. I've always known I wanted to be a vet, but not necessarily what species I wanted to treat or what direction I wanted my career to go, because there's so many different ways you can go with a veterinary degree. And in the end, finally settled on what I'm doing, which is small animal, and it is in a hospital situation, so we do have lots of inpatients and overnight, hopefully a higher caseload but a small practice. I have actually just really enjoyed that first lecture from Dave Nichols. That was really good, and I think he's said a lot of things that we're all thinking and given us sort of some ways of managing the things that we're worried about in practice. And having done my first 8 days in practice, I can tell everyone I've been running around like a mad person, not knowing what I'm doing because I don't.
I'm Massimo Colombo. Well, I think I first wanted to become a vet when I was 12 or 13, and when I got to 16 years of age, I went to a practice close to my school, and I shadowed the vets there for every Saturday morning during consults. And yeah, that really got me really interested in veterinary medicine. But it's fun to see that there's quite a few different people who are in the same position, so just all new grads really, and from different universities and also from abroad. 2 of my colleagues do the new graduate program as well. They're in their 2nd year now. They're always around if you need them, either during consults or when you're performing a surgery.
Here people actually love their animals, if that makes sense, and they treat them like a member of the family. My name is Patricia. I'm working at Digital Vets in Bedford. Well, to be honest, I applied for a normal job just as a vet. I told the staff that I don't have a lot of experience, and my mentor, which is a practice manager too, he told me about this position with IVSA. He asked me if I want to do it because he thought that it's like the best thing that I could apply for. It has a lot of training that I could actually benefit from, and I said yes. So, to be honest, yeah, I need to say thank you to my mentor because he pushed me in a way, but it was a good push.
We know that being a graduate and lack of support is one of your biggest worries, but within IVSA Evidentia we support you in all the ways that we can. All of our practices must agree to a set of guidelines. The guidelines are there to help the practice know how best to support you as a new graduate. Your practice will not put you on sole charge until you are ready. Your practice will not put you on the out-of-hours rota for at least the first month. After that, you will move on to the second on-call with a backup, and then on to first on-call with backup. It's also important that they allocate you plenty of time in surgery, getting to develop those all-important skills. It's also important to add that if you are very confident and that you find that you are ready to take on more independent working sooner than expected, your practice will be more than happy to accommodate this. And the same goes that if you want a little bit more time to build up your confidence, the practices will work on your speed of learning.
Moving on to our supporting CPD program. The duration of the CPD lasts 2 years, as mentioned, and we have a great blend of learning styles. So that's from workshops and practical sessions to online learning and lectures. We have 7 streams in total, which means for you that you will have a tailored CPD program to your type of role that you do. So firstly, in the small animal program, some of the topics that you may see are dermatology, hematology, nutrition, radiography, ultrasound surgery, dentistry and ophthalmology. In the farm program, we have scenarios of communication with farmers, emergencies, the lamb and calving, young stock health, pregnancy diagnosis, case studies and postmortems, cow management and nutrition, herd health, disease outbreaks and much more. The farm programme is usually delivered between the UK and Holland, so you'll get a chance to do a bit of travel as well. Moving on to the equine side, our programme is in collaboration with the British Equine Veterinary Association, and they deliver excellent CPD fundamentals which cover all those key areas, lameness, emergencies, etc. And then as much as clinical skills are important, learning about communicating with clients and team members is equally as important. And also learning how to manage day-to-day practice life. And you'll have some fantastic lectures on dealing with difficult conversations, decisions, finance and business, console skills, and dealing with stress as well. We also support our vets in other aspects of their lives too, and a number of support groups and processes are in place. Firstly, all employees have access to a brilliant employee assistance program that gives you access to free counselling and lots of other wellbeing tools. All vets also get access to private medical insurance. And we also have wellbeing champions in practice. Now these are members of staff that have volunteered, gone through training and are there to advocate for wellbeing within their team. Be someone there to listen and also help signpost you to further resources. We also have our LGBT+ group who get involved with lots of fun events, but also promote equality and diversity within the company. We also have LGBT+ champions in practices too. And you too can be a champion when you join IVSA Evidencia. We are also a disability confident employer. This is part of the UK government scheme, and we have access to policies in order to support anyone with a disability through the recruitment process or in their role. And lastly, we have a diversity project where we have a scholarship available in the UK supporting students wishing to go through that school from various backgrounds.
So we have some brilliant rewards packages available to all of our graduates as well. So it obviously will start with a highly competitive salary, but we also pride ourselves on the other rewards that we will be able to offer as well. So we would give you some 5 weeks paid holiday, with plus the 8 UK bank holidays, and we also give you your birthday off as well. We've got that all-important structured 2-year Cpd program with the practicals, workshops, online content, lectures, and much, much more with streams that are tailored to your specific role. We will also provide you with paid subscriptions to the RCVS and VCI renewal fees, BDS and VSABA and other required memberships. You'll get to attend either the VSABA or the London Vet Show congresses, or any other relevant congress to your interests. We will also invite you along to your very own Graduate Academy Congress, which is a 2-day event, and that happens each year, where we get all of our graduates together for some exciting workshops, talks, and again, CPD content. We also have some brilliant relocation packages available if you would like to explore different parts of the UK, and we can offer some help and support to be able to get you relocated to those practices as well.
So if any of you require visa sponsorship, we can provide support with that. Your practice will pay for and apply for a certificate of sponsorship once you've accepted a position with them. The visa application and associated requirements are your responsibility. So please make sure you go to the government website where you're fully aware of costs and what you need to do. On the screen, I put what is your responsibility and the practice's responsibility, just so it's clear. The deadline for getting sponsorship is normally the beginning of July, so the earlier you apply, the better. However, for some UK graduates, there is also the international student route. So this is where you can extend your visa and work freely for up to 2 to 3 years without needing sponsorship from your employer. I would recommend going on the government website for the most up-to-date information on this, as there are some pros and cons to both routes, and you'll need to decide which best suits your situation. So if you wish to work in Ireland and need a visa there, we can also assist with the process. However, there are many countries that are exempt from needing one, which are listed on their citizens' info website. So once you finish the Graduate Academy, this is not where the support and opportunities stop. We have many other learning and development programs, no matter which direction you want to take your career in, whether that be specialisation, management, or just get involved with other projects. On the screen shows you the career journey available to you. We want our vets to build and grow their career within IVC Evidensia with full support to reach your full potential, no matter what that may be. You can even become a clinical coach for the next generation of new graduates.
So, for all of you that are graduating in 2022, our applications are now open. A quick scan of the QR code on the screen will take you through to our simple, straightforward application form. We don't want to ask you loads and loads of questions at this stage. Basically, all you need to do is answer a few questions, upload your CV, and we'll do the rest. So we'll book you a time slot in with one of our excellent talent partners that will really get to know you, understand what you're looking for a role in terms of location, practice size, and Cpd stream content, and we will then recommend where we have got vacancies for you. For anybody else that is graduating in the future, if you'd like to register your details with us, on the screen we've got our email address, and that is gatalent@ivcevidencia.com. Why not drop us a quick email to say that you are interested in signing up for future year intakes, and once we open our applications, which are usually around the October-November time every year, we'll let you know when that's open. And again, really straightforward, simple process, uploading a copy of your CV, and we'll just make a time to get in contact with you. Our recruitment process is really simple, and we will support you through every single step of the way, making sure that you're fully confident for when you are being invited to the practice, making sure that you know exactly what is expected from yourself and what we are going to be able to ask you the different types of questions. So it's nothing too taxing and nothing to worry about. So yeah, if you are still looking for your next opportunity after university and you graduated this year, then please do apply now. We've still got some fantastic locations available. And that just remains to say thank you very much for listening to us today. And again, if you have got any questions, please don't hesitate to drop us a line at the email on the screen.
All right, the chair will now entertain a motion to stand at ease for 10-ish minutes. Daniel? Any discussion? For me, I want to do an energizer. Yay! So we're going to go dance again. please come up on the stage. And the other Denmark people, of course.
So, hello everyone. Daniel from Denmark, IVSA Denmark. Yes, you guys know this. Alright, so the presentation of Denmark. I'm going to put this here because it's much easier and you guys can hear me anyway, I am sure. Okay, so what I did, okay, it doesn't work. So, what I did is, I made this presentation with a few of the guys from Denmark, and then I decided we need some exposure for the Danish people, so we have the other ones here, and they're also So I'm the president of the OC, and right now we haven't figured out all of the other positions, but these people have been doing a lot as well. So now I'm going to go over what we're going to do. And this is our beautiful logo. So as you can see, our what's that called? Our motto is assembling the future of veterinary medicine, and that is because we're celebrating the 250th anniversary of vet school in Denmark that same year where we're holding the Congress. So, Denmark, what's that? It's a small country in Northern Europe. We have around 6 million people. We land border with Germany, but otherwise it's all water. And largest city and where we're going is Copenhagen. We use Danish crowns because of course we need our own currency. And as you can see, Denmark is not particularly religious, so only about 20% of the people actually believe religion to be a part of their life. So, coat of arms, they're very beautiful, both of them. The one on the left is from the city of Copenhagen, and the other one is from where we're actually going to be staying, which is a small municipality inside Copenhagen. Alright, and Copenhagen. You guys might have noticed this during the whole event, but Danish people are very practical and we're very literal. So like Copenhagen appeared as a trading depot as the first, and that's why the literal translation is via harbor. Our city symbol is a toll booth, and we have just grown from this trade between the Baltic and the Atlantic. And since the 10th century, it has been a beautiful city and it's now thrived into the capital of what we know as Denmark today. As you can see, it's almost a fifth of the population of Denmark that actually lives in Copenhagen. So I mean, it's a big city for us, but you guys think it's ridiculously small. Then we have this small municipality. You can see it outlined here. And it's even smaller, but it's unique from Copenhagen and has its own like administration and stuff like that. And that's around 104,000 people, and what you can see here as well is we called it Frederiks Mountain. And some of you may know, we don't have mountains in Denmark, but we'd like to say that we do. So the mountain in Frederiksberg, Frederiks Mountain, is 31 meters above sea level. And then we go to the vet school, or as we call it, Landbohøjskolen. We actually don't call it that anymore. It was removed in 2012 by University of Copenhagen, but everyone still calls it that, so we're going to do that too. And as I said, we're the second oldest vet school in the world. Lyon is the only one, Lyon in France is the only one older than us at the moment. The only one that was older has since been removed. So, second oldest and 250th anniversary in 2023. In 1858, it was located to Frederiksberg because that was outside the city and like the rural part of the country. As it turns out, the city of Copenhagen grows, and now it's in the middle of the city of Copenhagen, which is very unfortunate for our large animal hospital. Getting a horse trailer inside your capital city is very difficult. So we decided to move the large animal hospital outside, and therefore it's split. We have 180 students per year, and we're EVE accredited and recently re-accredited, and it's weirdly for you guys is that it's both a bachelor's and a master's degree that we do here. 3 years of bachelor's and then 2.5 years of master. And we have 2 institutes underneath the vet school, and that's these 2 here, veterinary clinical medicine, and then one for husbandry and agricultural science. And as you can see here, we're according to the QS ranking, the school in Denmark is the 7th best vet school in the world regarding research, and the Shanghai ranking says we're number 2 in the world. And the 7th one is the best non-English speaking school in the world, non-native English speaking school in the world. So I mean, we're pretty proud of what we do, and I mean, it's good that 250 years of experience actually makes a difference. Well, okay, I see. It's a stand-up show now, apparently. Well, IVSA Denmark was established in 1951 alongside IVSA Global, because IVSA Global was established in Denmark, so more you know. We have approximately 1,000 members. There's 9 board members, and we're working close collaboration with VMF and DDD, which are 2 organizations, one for the student and one for the gun veterinarians in the country of Denmark. And they basically provide all the money for IVSA Denmark. So that's pretty nice. Accommodation, and I say probably because there's 2 places still in the running, but they're both very close to the school in walking distance and around the same price, if I remember correctly. But as of now, it's going to be this, and it's fine. You're all going to have a place to stay, and it's going to be fine. So, itinerary. Yes, you're going to be doing all of these things, maybe. Taking the train, eating a hot dog, and biking. So, first day is the arrivals day, so people arrive all throughout the day. We're going to have some dinner, and we will make sure people take you from the airport to the place we're staying, and from the place we're staying to the icebreaker and dinner event. As you can see, it's public transport, so it's quite easy, but let's see how easy it is when you guys actually arrive. First day, we have breakfast on campus, then we have the opening ceremony. We're going to have some coffee break, some snacks, and then we're going to go on the amazing campus tours. We've decided to dub it. It's something we have been doing with our exchanges, like a sort of race around the campus, so you learn how the campus works by doing a lot of chores around, not chores, but tasks around I promise we're not that boring, so we're doing tasks around the campus in order to learn what the Danish faculty really is. Then we're going to have some GA, and we're going to have dinner, and then we're going to start with cultural evening. As you guys know, it's a quite fun event, and it's a very nice way to meet everyone all at once. And in the beginning of the event, because after that you will always have something to talk about. Second day, we're going to have breakfast on campus, and then we're going to go for a city tour, canal tour, and then the same thing in the afternoon. And we're going to do GAs in the middle, and that's going to be an optional night activity. We're going to have options for all of you guys, like every night. It's not going to be mandatory, except for a few select events, but we're going to have options that we decide. Tonight we recommend you guys go to this place, or to this place. So there's always an option, but nothing is going to be mandatory. On the third day, we're going to have streams. And the streams are basically lecture streams and also some practical workshop streams. And it's going to be companion animals, pigs, equine, biomedicine, cattle, and aquaculture. Because they are the main subjects and some things that we are very good at in Denmark, both aquaculture, equine, not equine, pigs, and biomedicine. So we added those on there so you can get into whichever field you actually want to work with later on. And yes, as you can see, lunch will just depend on where you are, but it's all going to be well and fine. Next day, we're going to have a 4-hour GA session. We're going to have lectures, and those are some different lectures. There's going to be just some, so they are to be disclosed. And then we're going to have an optional activity to go to the aquarium, or go to an organic farm, a nature hike or a shooting range, and a few more options we're still in the process of working out. Then we're going to go to our student bar on campus that night. It has been there forever, so whenever we meet a real vet in the world in Denmark, they're always like, is that bar still going on? And we say, yes, for sure. It's actually the third largest distributor of beer, of a specific type of beer, outside of our largest stadium in Denmark. So I mean, it's a hefty intake of beer in that bar. Next one is day 5, officials workshops. So there's going to be 4 hours allocated, but it might not take 4 hours, so we'll see. You guys have some free time to go around Copenhagen. And the wonderful thing in Copenhagen is that it doesn't take long to go anywhere, because you can literally walk from one end of the city to the other in an hour. So it's all well and fine. Then we're going to have 5 hours of GA with breaks in between. You guys don't need to worry, there are going to be breaks throughout GA with snacks and coffee. Then there's going to be dinner on campus, and we're going to have live auction. And live auction is an amazing event, which you'll learn later during this congress. Alright, then we're going to have recreational streams, because although we do like to learn, we also like to have fun and do cultural things. So most of these actually include a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and that wasn't on purpose, it just kind of happened because it's cool things to see in Denmark. So there's Kronborg Castle, which is the one you might know from Hamlet. There's a crocodile zoo and coastal city down south in Copenhagen. There's Vikings and old-timey Denmark. And there's a UNESCO Heritage Cliff and a beach forest. And yes, beach is a real word. It's a beautiful tree that we have everywhere in the Daneland. And then there's also a nature walk with the DIY booze option. Because as you guys may have known from Cultural Evening, we have these things called bitters, where you take a hard liquor and then you put a bunch of different vegetable roots and herbs in it and make your own thing. And you can actually do that from a nature walk, so that's going to be pretty fun as well. Next day, day 7, we have, and that again trails back to the bitter thing, we have a club in Denmark called the Morning Bitter Club. So that means we meet up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we do one of these 40% shots, eat some cake, and then we go back to the lecture. And we feel like it's important for the IVSA people to really experience the culture of Denmark, although it is of course optional. But it's a fun thing we do, and I loved it the first year I started at vet school. Then we're going to have optional activities. We're going to have a castle tour, horse racing track, shopping, or amusement park. So that's going to be an option there. Then we're going to have 2 lecture sessions and dinner optional night activity. On day 8, we're going to have buddy hour, some GA, and then we're going to have practical workshops. And at the moment we have necropsy, suture, meat inspection, and histology as our workshops for that day. And it's a free evening. You can just do whatever you want that night. We're not going to have, that's one of the few exceptions where we let you guys sleep, so go and sleep if that's what you want to. Then the next day we're going to start off with a sponsor spot, so we're going to sponsor spot. So we're going to start with some sort of, what's that called? Like we're doing here with all the sponsors, but like a show where exhibit hall, there we go, that's the word, exhibit hall. We're going to do that outside our GA hall and make sure that people can go around and get merchandise and talk to sponsors, and the sponsors can interact with vet students as well. Then we're going to have an optional activity. We're going to have some sightseeing that we recommend, or relaxation as well. So that's going to be a more free spot throughout the time. Then we have shopping and preparation for formal dinner, and then we have formal dinner. And the next day we're going to have all GA, and then EO meeting, and then more GA, and then we have a closing ceremony, and then we're going to have a white t-shirt party. which is also an amazing event. And then you guys are sadly going to leave again. Except if you're going to the post-congress on the 3rd of August to the 17th of August. And at the moment we're taking you guys to the South Funen Archipelago. And it doesn't really translate into English, and it's not something I would Google because it makes no sense for you guys to read it. It's basically the closest thing we have to the Caribbean Isles, so it's the Danish version of the Caribbean Isles, and you can quickly go between them, and we can go camping, we can go to the beach, and we can do a lot of other things. Just be aware, it is Denmark, it is summer, so it's going to rain, and it's going to be cold sometimes as well, so not very Caribbean in weather, but very Caribbean in the sense that there's water everywhere. So take from that what you will. And there's also a bunch of very old traditional Danish housing and stuff like that on the different islands. And it's a hugely popular place to be in the summer in Denmark. So yeah, island hopping, skipping around is the post-congress. Then we get to the real interesting stuff. The stuff I love more than anything else in the world, the money. So, the incoming is the delegates fee. And as you can see, the delegates fee is around 44,000 euros. The officials are a little less because they don't all pay for the fee or that. In total, we're getting around 55,000 from the delegates in our calculations. But Denmark is a very expensive place to be. So we need to find almost double the amount, or well, at least double the amount of money that we get from you guys as delegates, from sponsors in order to host the event in Denmark. But thankfully, we are already pretty far along and have secured 40,000 euros in sponsorship already, which is very nice. Thank you, COVID, for making all of these companies save a lot of money so they can spend it at another time. Okay, I didn't think we're gonna thank COVID as of yet, but oh man, it happened. It happened. Should have put it on the GA agenda, bingo, I should say. But it is what it is. Then outgoing, you can see here that all of the money that we get from delegates actually just go to accommodation. It's around 50,000 euros for that duration in Copenhagen. And it's actually going to be a little war with the most recent discussion with the place. So it's tough living in Denmark on this amount of money. Then we have the food, it's around 31,000, and those two are our main expenses. And then all of the other things come here. Transport is around 4,000. Then we have formal, which is around 4,000, and then there's all of these other things as well, which amounts to around 3,000, and in total it's 90,000 euros of expected expenses, and then around 10% of that is unexpected expenses. So, yeah, around 100,000 euros for holding an event in Denmark. Yay. And as you guys may or may not have calculated, 95,000 euros is going in, and we're going to use around 10,000 euros, which is a net deficit of 4,800 euros. And while that may seem like a lot, we also haven't worked with more than the primary partners at the moment. So everywhere else in Denmark, all the companies, the biomedical companies, the pharmaceutical companies, everywhere else we haven't gotten in contact with them yet, so we're pretty sure we can easily find 5 and hopefully more $1,000 than 5. So that was the presentation, and now technically the chair has to move to the next agenda point.
All right. Go ahead. Can someone give her a microphone?
Tessa van Duinen, IVSA the Netherlands. Can someone repeat the dates of the Danish Congress in Viking country? Thank you.
It's going to be the 23rd of July, 2023, until the 3rd of August, 2023. And then afterwards it's going to be the 3rd until the 7th of August for the post-Congress.
Are there any questions on the presentation that was just given? Just to make sure, questions cannot be about the maximum fee. The next agenda point will be that we vote on that. So if you have any stuff you want to say about the fee, it's for the next agenda point. Now you can ask whatever you want about the morning bitter club or whatever else he just said.
So, Anna Friedrich, IVSA Germany. I don't know if it's a point of information or maybe a parliamentary query or whatever. So, we just looked it up, we had some official presentation about IVSA in general, and it says that it was established in Germany. So that's why we have to ask, and you said it was Denmark, and it was said before, so we just wanted to clarify where it was officially established. Thank you.
As parliamentarian, I can say, it's not stated in the bylaws, but we can ask our old honorary life member if he knows, and he'll get back to us.
Anna Friedrich, IVSA Exco. I can answer that question. In the official presentation that we had at the GA, it's written that it was established in Denmark due to the fact that it was opened in the Danish government and it was officially registered in Denmark. But the Congress, when we made the motion to establish the organization, I don't know where that Congress took place.
Did that answer your question? All right. Any other questions? No questions about the budget? Oh, yes.
Aneta Frostova, IVSA Czech Republic. Is there a maximum amount of people you are able to accept for the Congress?
Yes, due to the expenses that we have in Denmark, we need to secure between 400 and 500 euros per person attending from sponsors. And to make it more as realistic as possible, we're doing all of our estimates with around 160 delegates, including officials.
Any other questions for IVSA Denmark? Seeing none, we're moving on to the next agenda point, voting on the maximum fee for the 72nd IVSA Congress in Denmark.
Daniel Land, IVSA Denmark, I move to set the maximum fee for the 72nd Congress in Denmark in 2023 at 350 euros, excluding CF tax.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
I can just start out by saying that we have done calculations with 400 euros as well, but given that we need such a large amount of sponsorship, we decided to keep it 350 in order to ensure that as many delegates as possible could attend. And to visualize this on the presentation, I actually put in a picture of the highest point in Denmark, which is not natural. It's our bridge, the Great Belt Bridge. It's around 170 meters tall.
Loren from Honda, IVSA Exco. I would like to ask, since you have more sponsors in mind, since they have more sponsors in mind, is it possible that the fee will be less than 315, excluding CFS?
Daniel and IVSA Denmark, we have considered this, but we have decided in the OC that instead of lowering the fee from 350 per delegate, We are instead, if we have enough of a surplus of money, going to arrange that people can apply for grants, travel grants, to go to Denmark instead, so that we try to be as diverse of an organization as possible. Although we can't make promises, so that's why it's not really possible.
All right, Trinity.
Hi, Trinity, Dr. IVSA Ireland. I just want to ask what, I'm sorry. I just want to ask what CF tax was. I'm really stupid, but what is CF tax?
You're not stupid, first of all. Second of all, CF tax, it stands for Central Fund Tax, and that's a tax that basically goes to IVSA Global. So, as a delegate, officially the amount is 350 euros that you're paying. Those 350 go to the OC for organizing the event. You're actually paying 378, out of which 8% CF tax, which is established as in our bylaws. Those 28 euros are going to IVSA Global.
Thank you.
All right, to ensure the day-to-day functioning of our association. Any other questions? Any other discussion on setting the maximum fee at 350 euros? Susanna? Can someone give her a microphone?
I can't, I'm sorry.
Oh, other way, over there, Italy.
Susanna, yes, Italy. I was wondering if there's going to be a tax, an additional tax, like it was for this Congress. Like the fee was 350, but then it got to 417, I think, or something like that, because of the taxes. I was wondering if it was going to work like that even for this Congress. Thank you.
That is a very good question. So at the moment we're working with the Professional Veterinary Association to ensure that we avoid paying sales tax in Denmark during the event, because sales tax is 25%, and that's going to be a real monkey to fix this during the budget. So yeah, and it is legally allowed in Denmark when you're a voluntary organization. So there shouldn't be any tax. Bank fees that you guys pay to transfer money in euros are not included in the 378, but everything else should be. Otherwise we have bigger problems than you guys paying.
Any other questions? Any other discussion on approving the CF tax? Maximum Congress fee, sorry. Seeing none. Are there any objections on setting the maximum Congress fee for the 72nd Congress in Denmark at 350 euros, excluding CF tax? Seeing none, motion passes. Maximum fee is 350 euros. Next up on the agenda, presentation on the 71st IVSA Symposium in Slovenia. Come on up, guys.
So, hello guys. Now let's present you the symposium. So yeah, this is our logotype. The 71st IVSA Symposium in Slovenia, which will be held from the 5th to the 13th of January 2023. The number of delegates is 100, so it's much smaller. Now, let's talk about our country, Slovenia. I bet that some of you don't even know where it is. It's located in Central Europe, bordered by Italy, Austria, Croatia, and Hungary. It has a little bit over 2 million people. Before 1991 it was part of Yugoslavia, so for history. The capital and largest city is Ljubljana, and currency is euro, and it's mostly Christian. Yeah, I would like to say that our country is a shape of a chicken. There's the head and the tail and the legs. And yeah, Ljubljana is located in the center of it, and there's actually our faculty too. So Ljubljana, the name means the beloved one, and it was the European Green Capital in 2016. The symbol of the city is the Ljubljana dragon. We say it's mine. The main attraction is the Ljubljana Castle, then the Ljubljana River, and the Triple Bridge and Christian Square. It's a really green city, and it's really beautiful. Another university and veterinary faculty. It's a member of University of Uganda since 1953. We have one undergraduate and 2 postgraduate programs. The faculty is at 2 locations. Altogether, we are a really small faculty. We only have 360 students, and 1 year there are 60 students. It is EID accredited. We have altogether 7 institutes and clinics, and some students' organization besides Slovenia. So yeah, IVSA Slovenia. It was established more than 25 years ago, and if I can say a fun fact, that the 3rd symposium ever was held in Slovenia, and they went skiing. We have 67 members. Francis Popper, the guy back there, is our president. Rok Ojstešek, the guy on the right, is our hero, and I'm the vice president, and also the president of the upcoming symposium of the OC team. So yeah, our OC team has now around 10 members, but we will expand the team. Accommodation. We all stay at a 5-star hostel. Actually, it is a former prison, but don't get afraid, please. It's on the Lonely Planet Blue list, and yeah, it has 92 beds in 29 rooms. Because we are short on beds, we need a second accommodation. That accommodation will be at Hotel Park, where we will have 10 delegates. So here are the pictures. How to get to Ljubljana? We have an airport and train station. The airport is actually really small. It's around 26 kilometers away from Ljubljana, so we will arrange pickups for you. And we recommend to travel by train or bus because it's much cheaper, especially for people from Europe. It is located really near our accommodation, like 5 to 10 minutes by foot. And just to tell you, if you're traveling from other countries, not from Europe, it is better to take the trip to our neighbor countries like Vienna or Rome or Venice. And then take a bus to Ljubljana or train. So yeah, here are the countries who need a visa, and for more information, please click the link here. Our itinerary. Well, on day -1, we have arrivals of the officials. They will have dinner, and the next day they will have their meetings. On day 0 is delegates' arrivals, so they'll have a meeting and their arrivals will be at the same time. And in the evening, we'll have dinner for all of them. And yeah, then after dinner, some free time and icebreakers. On day 1, we are planning an opening ceremony. Then we go to our faculty. We'll take a little faculty tour. Then we have lunch. The lunch will be at our faculty actually. Then we'll go with city bus back to our accommodation, Hotel City, where we have our first GA, then followed by lectures, dinner, and some more GAs. On day 2, we have more GAs, then lunch, practical workshops for 3 hours, and then in the evening international stands and cultural evening. The dinner in between will be like we're planning it self-serve. On day 3, we're planning lectures, which will be held like 2 lectures will be at the same time, so we will have to split. Then we'll have lunch, the 4 GA, dinner, and silent auction. Then on day 4, we'll have EU meeting, 5th GA, lunch, GA, dinner, and in the evening, live auction. I need to apologize, the hours for live auctions are messed up. The live auction will be till 11 o'clock, so sorry for that. On day 5, we have the 7 GA, then we go to a stud farm, visit horses. Then we'll have lunch at the farm, then we go to Koper, our seaside. We'll visit a wine cellar, and for the ones that are not interested in this event, we'll visit the Biran area and have some lectures there. Then in the evening, dinner and karaoke night. On day 6, we go to our Vojaška veterina. It's a veterinary unit of our army, and we'll have some workshops there. Then we have lunch on the bus on the way back, and followed by the AGA, and then in the evening formal dinner. On day 7, we have committees, 4 hours, committees workshops, lunch, the 9 GA, dinner, and white t-shirt party. And on day 8 day, breakfast and departures. So yeah, altogether we have 26 hours of GA. I hope that's gonna be enough. And 18 hours of educational program. Now the budget. The delegates, from delegates we get around 34,650 euros. And for now we have actually a lot of sponsors, but as you see, they are really small. But that's how we do it in Slovenia. So total incoming is 45,050 euros, and from which 18% is sponsored. The outgoing, our biggest expenses, of course, accommodation and food. For the accommodation, 12,000 euros. Food is 13,000 euros. The transportation, 2,300 euros. The formal dinner, you have to pay for the GA venue, sadly, because actually in our faculty we don't have a room, a lecture room so big that we could fit 100 delegates in. And here are some other expenses. And unexpected costs, we put it at 10%. Total outgoing 43,500 euros. This is just that you can compare incoming and outgoing. And yeah, I think the next agenda point.
Hey guys.
So, I saw some people raising their phones back there, so I'm just gonna go back to the visa slide. This is just some basic information, so please, for more info, go to our Ministry of Foreign Affairs website. You're gonna get all your info there, and we will be, of course, assisting you when the time comes for that. Does everyone have the info they needed from this slide at this moment? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a yes. So, now back to the post-symposium. We are going to be in Kranjska Gora. Are there any winter sports fans out there? Give a whoop! That's fantastic. You're gonna be loving Kranjska Gora then. This is the place where the skiing World Cup race happens for the last few years for both men and women. And there is also a ski jumping event, and we will try our best to let you go see the event sites. Unfortunately, or lucky for us, the events of the skiing and ski jumping World Cups are happening not at the same time. So it will not be as crowded in Kranjska Gora as it is during these events. However, now to the more important things. The post-symposium will be happening during the 13th and 16th of January, right after we finish the symposium. And we will be staying at a hostel, Nika. Unfortunately, I don't have my pictures here. I had a lovely presentation, but there has been some miscommunication, and there are no pictures, unfortunately. Hostel Nika is great though. We know the hostel very well. We have our yearly IVSA motivational weekend there. So we are intimately familiar with the hostel. However, back to Kranjska Gora, it is a very popular tourist destination, and it is surrounded by the gorgeous Alps. So really for the winter time, I hope there will be snow so you guys can enjoy Kranjska Gora and all its beauty. There are some natural sites that we will take you to see, like the Jasna Lake. It's on the top right picture. And there's the Alpine Village. That's just how Kranjska Gora is transformed during the winter time. The ski resort you can see. And there is the Planica and Tamer valleys where the ski jumping stuff happens. And of course, you probably wonder what we're going to do during the post-symposium. We will take you skiing or snowboarding. If you don't know how to ski or snowboard, unfortunately, we will not be able to provide you skiing or snowboarding lessons. So we will take, unfortunately, I'm very sorry, but we will take you sledding instead. So that's going to be super fun as well. That's going to be on our day 1 of post-symposium, and then on day 2 we will take you on some live trekking through the beautiful nature around Kranjska Gora. And in the evening times we will either take you sightseeing or you'll have free time, and of course there will be an evening program for you guys. Okay, I think I said enough about the destination itself. The cost is estimated at 200 euros. This is a very rough estimate because it is, first of all, the winter season has not started yet, and we will get the prices for the ski passes and all that comes with it later in probably October or November, hopefully a little earlier than that. But we are trying our best to include in this price the transport, accommodation with breakfast and dinner, the ski pass itself, and rental of skiing equipment if you're unable to bring your own. I think that I've covered everything. Are there any questions about the post-symposium? Where is our mic person? Behind you.
Matteo Carnevale, IVSA Italy. I wanted to ask if how's the weather in January there, and if there's a chance that like extreme weather could compromise the post-symposium or the symposium, like extreme snowfall.
Tara Česnik, IVSA Slovenia. I think the weather is going to be cooperative without any extreme weather conditions. The temperature in January is around 0 degrees though, so we recommend you pack warm things if you're not used to cold temperatures like that.
We've survived minus 50 knee-high snow in South Korea. We can handle this.
Out of order, but facts. Are there any other questions on the presentation of IVSA Slovenia? I thought I just saw hands. Are there any other questions? Salsa.
How many people would be trying to attend the post-symposium? Yeah, that's one thing.
If I correct, you asked for the post-symposium?
Yes.
Around 60 people you're planning. So, 60 for post-symposium, yeah.
That's the maximum amount of people that can get into the hostel. If there's less people, we'll be fine with that as well.
How exciting. Salsa?
Well, that also do IVSA Exco. What is the other consideration to take 60 people to the pro-symposium? I will repeat, I'm so sorry. What is the consideration to take 60 people to the pro-symposium other than like it fits to the hotel, do you have enough resources and etc. Thank you.
We are planning bus transportation to Kranjska Gora from Ljubljana and back, of course, for departures, and that is included in the cost of the post-symposium.
All right. Are there any other questions on the symposium in IVSA Slovenia? All right, I don't think so. Great job, guys. I'm looking forward to it.
Just one more thing, if you're gonna have any more questions, you can reach us at IVSA Slovenia Instagram account, Facebook account, and for the email, please come to me and I'll write it out for you because it's super long. Thanks.
All right. Next up, presentation of the 70th IVSA Symposium Online Special General Assembly. Gabriel, come on up.
Hey guys, it's me again. So, talking about the 70th IVSA Symposium Online Special General Assembly that happened in February this year. So, the information about the event is the theme was all-purpose hero veterinarians and their role in human life. And the dates for the SJ were the 19th and 20th and the 26th and 27th of February 2022. So this is part of the program, as you can see, and I think most of us or some of us were part of the SGA. So this is part of the program we had on Saturday the 19th, part of the program on the 20th as well, being those two being the educational program, and Saturday the 26th and the 27th being the General Assembly. About the budget, we have a super exciting budget, super interesting. In the outgoing part, we had 0 for meeting platform, 0 for speakers. We have a total of 0. And for the income, we have 0 for fee, with a total of 0. So that was our budget. So yeah, I move to approve the budget and itinerary of the 17th IVSA Congress Online SGA.
Second.
Is there any discussion on approving this motion? Any objections? Seeing none, motion passes. Next up on the agenda, continuing with GA1 onwards. We have 4 more minutes left, so let's go. Alright, next up on the agenda is the update for the Standing Committee on Veterinary Education. Allison came running up, so I'm assuming he's doing that.
Yes. Alright, so let's begin. Okay, so this is the team for the year 2021 to 2022 term. Yeah, you can also check this out on Instagram. So here's Scobie's missions to facilitate distribution of knowledge to veterinary students around the globe, provide access to additional education to veterinary students, and to promote improvement of education of veterinary students around the globe. So kind of, education. Here's their social media numbers. So I feel like we could all increase those by joining. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and oh gosh, I forgot this one. Can't remember. You guys get it, see? Okay, so Scobie's ambassadors. So there was a selection of 29 Scobie ambassadors all around the world. They renewed the ambassador manual this year, and the ambassador of the month awards each month based on health scores on the monthly report, a monthly. But yes, they are very kind to their ambassadors. So one of the Scobie projects was the Edu Plus website. It was the aim was to create a go-to website for all educational resources. They updated the resources, they reorganized the sections, they added the publications onto the renewed website, and they added a section specifically for those publications. As you can see, the QR code is up there. If your camera is good enough, well, good on you. But the website itself is wixsites.eduplus.com. So another project was the Vet Talks, the aim being to give insights into important topics relevant to veterinary medicine. There are 11,900 users, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So another project for Scobie are their surveys, the aim being to analyze factors affecting veterinary education and students. They have 2 published survey reports, the first being healthy risk of veterinary students in training. It's in their Journal of Veterinary Education number 4. The second survey that's published is the Pandemic Veterinary Education and Emergency Online Learning. This can be found on Edu Plus. They recently started a new survey with the topic hands-on training and practical exposure in the veterinary curriculum. So, as you can see, even more projects from Scobie, they just won't stop. So, AIM providing additional information for IVSA members. There is the first aid course, and to join, you'll be using this code. So, take a picture, share it. The fundamentals of surgery, there is, yes, another code for that. And published first aid courses in collaboration with VetStream on Vet Academia. The website below will be linked. So, another project, essay competitions, the aim being to get students to meaningfully engage in current and burning issues in veterinary education. So we have two topics. The first being a Scobie and One Health essay competition collaboration. With the topic, the role of a veterinarian in a pandemic. Much like the one we just got out of. And now Scobie and SCOCA essay competition, which has the importance of soft skills in veterinary medicine. So I mentioned before the Journal of Veterinary Education number 4, and here it is again. So the aim of this particular journal was to get students updated in different topics in veterinary education and encourage them to actively improve their writing and critical thinking on different topics. The theme being, with my vet degree, there were some interviews, opinion articles, artwork, and survey reports. So, Scobie partner collaborations, PharmaVet, IPSF, and IPSF, thank you, and IVSA Clinical Skills Event. It was the interprofessional competition with teams of IPSF and IVSA members. There was a multiple choice quiz, a workshop, a case study, and a case presentation. Oh, for those wondering, IPSF is the International Pharmaceutical Students Federation. Scobie partners collaborations, plums, so there's $1,000, I would assume dollars, not euros. Sponsorship, social media advertisement for their student discounts. Within the collaboration event with IPSF, the clinical skills, there's a lecture and the workshop, and the prize is for the winners. Okay, so that stream, you have a discounted free subscription for the individual IVSA members depending on their country. The discounted /free subscription to the faculty subscription. And there are free ebooks for first aid courses. VetMed Academia, they ended the IVSA corner on VetMed Academia. Vet Talks of Dr. Duncan Ferguson, a publication on veterinary drug regulations around the world in companion animals and food animals. So another collaboration, a workshop for 20 IVSA members on basic sutures. There was a raffle prize for one participant. Then we have Nutrition Bites on Scobie YouTube, gastrointestinal module. There were over 450 views. There was a nutrition quiz and there was participation in the Scobie Nutrition Day. There was a lecture, a panel discussion, and a giveaway. For the Nutrition Day, which continued, the aim for that was for students to have a better understanding of the nutritional requirements of animals for health and weight management and reduce risk of disease. There were 2 lectures, 1 workshop, 1 panel discussion, and over 100 registrants of IVSA members. So, more collaborations. There is a collaboration with the Expedition Project. It was a coffee with TEP for wildlife vets in training. And there was also a collaboration with the IVSA Ecoin community, now known as the IVSA Ecoin Network. And that took place on December 18th to 19th of December. And that is it.
Any questions on this update? They say no. Okay. Next up on the agenda, Standing Committee on Wellness update. Who's doing that? Lurgan.
Thank you, Marije. Lurgan from Blanda IVSA Exco. I will present the update for the Standing Committee on Wellness on behalf of Juan. So, SCAO, that's how you say it, SCAO, has done certain projects as the World Mental Health Day, the Mentee project in collaboration with the Alumni network. They opened a new call for the ambassadors for wellness to promote wellness on a local level to improve the hashtag wellness of IVSA members. They also were contributing to the Sub-Saharan African Symposium, International Happiness Day project, and the Solidarity Week. So, to spread the awareness, SCAO has conducted a project and asked IVSA members to share their stories and give them other IVSA members inspirations and a little bit of support, which was especially during the pandemic very important, I guess. This was the PR. Then the Mentee project, we had now 24 pairings for students, and I think Lisa will also tell you guys a little bit more about this, so I will not lose any time on that. Then with the ambassador program, we have 15 MOs and chapters in the program at the moment. It was the first year we had wellness ambassadors, and we hope to continue with the ambassador program now also for wellness. These are the ambassadors, big shout out to them. They're very important to bring the message to a local level. Then SCAO participated in the Sub-Saharan African Symposium, and they had a talk on veterinary students' well-being and transitioning into the profession. Then International Happiness Day project. This was with the collaboration between ambassadors, and it was a great way to include ambassadors in the projects and actually involve them in the work of IVSA Global. Then, of course, the Solidarity Week is the biggest event of the year. It was kind of the wellness week also, especially with one more vet, non-B, which was a great success, and we were able to reach a lot of members. This was the PR. And that's it. Thank you very much.
All right, any questions? No. Next up on the agenda, Standing Committee Career Attributes update. The chair is now entertaining a motion to stand at ease for 2 minutes. Salsa?
Mohitan Salsabila, IVSA Exco. I so move. Second.
All right, any discussion on standing at ease? Any objections? We're at ease, please stay in the room. Give us 2 minutes. Tessa, if you want to help with the auction. I have also just personally volunteered, so you'll get to spend more one-on-one time with me, which is very much fun. All right. Next up on the agenda, setting your career attributes update. Jade, now you can come on up.
Hi. I'm Jade. I'll be giving you the SCOCA update. So SCOCA is focused on the soft skills. Very famous, yet very underestimated. So we try to provide members with trainings and tools so that we can both improve and learn these skills that are so important on our daily lives and also future careers as veterinarians. So this was our amazing team for this term. I believe you met Julia as well. She's on the OC. So we had some collaborations with different regions, the SSA region and the Americas. We did like some more personal trainings with them, which was very cool because we asked like EXCO members to participate and give their insights on like working in IVSA and how did they experience everything and their personal tips and all sorts of things like that. So those were both very cool. We also did another collab with the Asian region, and this was actually facilitated by our sponsor, global sponsor, IAAS, and the training committee. And this was a 3-day event with a lot of sessions happening at the same time, so participants could choose like which ones they thought were more important for them. We also tried to make to continue the officials trainings, but that was not successful, unfortunately. And I hope like this project like comes alive again at some point, because it was very fun. Like I think we had 3 sessions only, but it was quite cool. We also did an emotional intelligence training at the SSA symposium and a communication one at the EXCO session in Mexico. And our last project is still happening, so if you guys want to participate, we're still taking essays for the essay competition with SCOBY. And that is on the importance of soft skills in veterinary medicine. So if you'd like to participate, we're still taking those. And we also try to maintain our blog, which is not very active at the moment, but we do have some content there. And I think that was all.
Perfect. Are there any questions for Jade? No? All right. I just want to quickly acknowledge that we are going over time. We are aware of that, happened for 60 minutes. We're going to just continue a little longer because we're afraid we might be running out of GA time and we still have lots of agenda points to go through. So if we kind of squeeze in a little more time now, we might not have to go over time too much during our last GAs. That would be really sad, especially because we have some really long ones coming up as well. If at one point you have to pee, you can just ask for point of privilege. We can always go into recess. We're planning on heading, still continuing for about 40-ish, 45 more minutes. Okay, just so you know, wanted to prepare you in advance. All right, next up on the agenda, then is the Alumni Network update. Lisa Buren, IVSA Netherlands, you can come on up.
actually the chair of. So some of you might have noticed that not all the people walking around here are actually VET students. That's what I'm responsible for. We call those IVSA alumni. So the IVSA alumni is a network of graduated IVSA members. Basically what we do, once you graduate, you fill out an application form to become an alumni member. You pay a lifetime fee of 15 euros. So for the rest of your life, you can continue to join IVSA, just like you did as you were a student. Pretty nice. Now, with that, in return, we might sometimes call upon you as a speaker from a certain area. So if I look for a speaker for a certain area, I use your information. So if I, for example, know that you work in a specific field, for example, exotics, I might ask you to speak at an exotics conference. So in that way, you can also give a bit back. And alongside that, we also organize online activities, live events, and share opportunities specifically aimed at alumni. Now, as you can see, the thing in Sao Paulo is kind of working out. We have alumni here. Alongside that, we have had case presentations at the last online SGA, where we had several alumni members present cases from the clinics online. But we also share job vacancies, for example, the one at Glasgow, and actually our alumni, Yoni, is soon going to Glasgow, so that worked out well for him. So this is my current team, also containing Yoni, and Andrea, who is also here, and I think you might notice a few other familiar faces. Brendan is also right here. So yeah, these people do tend to stay involved a lot. Now, with that, I got a lot done this term. What I did, I made a strategic plan for the future development of the Alumni Network, because we don't want to stop at where we are now. We are going to expand a lot. So for that, I updated the member administration. Very boring, but very necessary. Made WhatsApp groups for alumni members to talk based on their interests. So we grouped them based on what kind of profession they are in. We renewed the contract with VVC, so Laura can also join us in Slovenia and in Denmark. We coordinated the Mentee project together with Scott. It was already briefly mentioned. The Mentee project basically means we take IVSA alumni members and link them up with students for mentorship. That can be anything towards professional mentorship, as well as just emotional discussions about how to get through that school. Very necessary. And we do have a current shortage of mentors, so alongside that we try to expand that project, but that's something for the future. Alongside that, we have an online activity with VVC on the externship opportunities. If you did not attend that, I would very much recommend talking to Laura while she's here about that. We launched a survey to set up a database for postgraduate courses and Cpd courses, because right now it's very hard to find. There are many opportunities out there, but they're not really organized. So that's something we're working on. We created a VVC travel grant for the alumni event in Brazil, which is basically the same as a GAD grant, but for alumni. The person who won this is Ali, and unfortunately Ali is in quarantine. So I hope you still get to meet him if he gets out of quarantine. So alongside the event here, we also organized one in Guadalajara, Mexico. That was before this, that was quite a small event. And we presented lectures and workshops during various other IVSA events. I've been busy, but what you still can expect from us is setting up a job opportunities platform, because right now we receive them on a case-by-case basis, we post them, and then from there on out we promote them to you. We want to make that a more solid platform, so you can always go there and take a look at what we have to offer. Together with VVC, we also are going to organize an activity on the NAVLI, and not only for you AUMA accredited folks, also for those of you who are interested in coming to the US or another country you need the NAVLI for, and explain how that works. On top of that, we are working on setting up a Young Vet toolkit with various committees in IVSA and partners. This should be a database for recent graduates with all sorts of information from day one competencies to just lists and databases from plumps, pharmaceuticals to guidelines on communication. And we are working to set up accreditation for the alumni events, so you can actually get CPD points for joining as an alumni in IVSA. And you can only guess what my successor is going to come up with. So thank you very much, and try to stay up to date with all we do through our social media networks.
All right, are there any questions about the Alumni Network? No? All right then, next up on the agenda is the Ecoin Candidate Network update. Lauren.
Within Forplanta IVSA Exco, I'm gonna present the network about the Ecoin, the update about the Ecoin network on behalf of Bradium, our interim chair of the Ecoin network. So for the social media, at the moment we have 550 members on the Facebook group. The most of them are from Europe with 300 plus and Asia with 100 plus members. Instagram we have 1,934 followers. Then projects, we had online exchange conducted with, actually it was a networking activity to get to know other IVSA members with the shared interest of econ medicine. Then they had an ongoing project with Breed of the Month, just an interactive posting project. Then they conducted journal clubs where they were discussing journals and articles, and just to have an exchange and also get used to read professional articles. Also then with the book club, quite similar, and the monthly newsletter to inform people who have without access to Facebook. Then they had an online conference with different equine medicine related topics with very good speakers, which was a great success. Then we had a collaboration with the Animal Welfare Committee for the Equine Welfare Week, which were a lot of webinars and smaller activities. And then they had the monthly webinars with different topics of equine education and welfare and medicine, and of those they did 9. That's it for the equine.
Are there any other questions for Lauren on the Ecoin Candidate Network? All right, then the chair will now entertain a motion to untable the agenda point on the bylaw amendment on the Ecoin Network. I want to see someone new do it. Yes, Matteo.
Matteo Carnevale, IVSA Italy, I so move.
Perfect. All right. Is there any discussion on untabling this agenda point? I have discussion. We tabled it last time because we wanted you guys to see the update first before voting on the bylaw amendment that it pertains to. So now I want to untable it so we can do it. Any other discussion? Any objections? Seeing none, motion is untabled. I'm going to go look for it now. Doug? Please use the microphone.
Method coach IVSA Slovenia. I have a point of privilege. Can we recess it for like 5 minutes?
Second.
Yes, but first I think I'll have to call the GA back to order, and then I think I need you to make a motion to go into recess. I can do that. Call the GA back to order at 6:28 p.m. Brazil time. And now you raise your hand.
Method coach IVSA Slovenia. I have a point of privilege.
Yes, now you just say I move to go into recess for 5 minutes.
I move to go into recess for 5 minutes.
Second.
Perfect, yes. All right, is there any discussion on going into recess for 5 minutes? Any objections? We're in recess. 5 minutes. So, Untitled Agenda Point, bylaw amendment on the Ecoin network. Who's doing this? Who is doing this? All right. To remind you, the motion was already made to add the Ecoin network and to replace it with one network with two networks in 9.1 general of the bylaws. So, this is how we want it to be, or well, the people that moved it. This is what it was. So you can see instead of one, it'll be two networks, and the Ecoin network would be added. Is there any discussion on this bylaw amendment? Daniel Lunt.
Daniel Lunt, IVSA Denmark, what is the opinion of EXCO?
Yeah.
Under stage IVSA EXCO, we have voted within our team about this bylaw amendment, and EXCO is against approving this bylaw amendment. I would like to also give floor to elaborate. Can I do it, or does he need to raise hand? Yeah.
Any other discussion on this bylaw amendment? Lauren?
Loren from Atlanta, IVSA EXCO. So the reasoning why EXCO is not comfortable with approving the bylaw amendment just now is because there has been certain situations within the team and we were very struggling with finding a new chair. So we had an interim, our secretary, and especially the public relation needs to be improved, and also the external relations should first really settle, and also that we make sure that, because we don't really have a strategic plan per se, so EXCO would rather have one more year of candidate status for this network.
Is there any discussion on approving this bylaw amendment? Tessa?
Tessa van Duinen, IVSA the Netherlands. I would also like to add to the situation that, if I'm right, they have only been a functioning network on themselves for 1 year because they were part of SCOVI for the other year. So while this is true according to the bylaws and we have to ask this to the GA, you could also interpret it as they've only been a candidate committee for a candidate network for 1 year, so maybe we should give them that extra year as candidates. Thank you.
All right. Lauren?
Loren from Planta, IVSA EXCO. So when we did the bylaw amendment about the procedures of adding new committees and networks, in the appendix we mentioned that we grant them now candidate status, and we counted from the time where they were established within SCOVI and to move from there on, because we weren't aware how the situation will occur. But I would agree that we can, yeah.
Are there any other people that want to discuss this bylaw amendment? Any other people that haven't spoken yet? Daniel?
Daniel Lund, IVSA Denmark. I would also like to point out that another good reason for not putting the network in the bylaws is that as soon as it's in the bylaws, the network has to do what's stated it should do in the bylaws. But while we're keeping it in flux as we are here, we're able to more clearly find out what exactly the tasks of the network should be.
Noted. discussion on approving this bylaw amendment? All right. Since there have been voices against, I will call for a card raising vote. So every country, get your cards, please. Do you guys need some time to discuss what you want to vote on? All right. The chair will now entertain a motion to stand at ease for 2 minutes so that you guys can discuss what you want, how you want to vote. Anna. Perfect. Any discussion? Any objection? We're now standing these for 2 minutes. Discuss what you want to vote on. And if you need help from your buddy, ask them, text them. Anyone need more time? That was a yes. Continue.
So basically, I mean,
still need more time? If you need more time, raise your hand. I'll give you 1 minute.
Repeat after me.
All right, time to reconvene. Calling the GA back to at 6:50 p.m. Brazil time. Let your buddies go. I hope you've all decided what you want to vote on. Just to quickly explain how this vote's going to go, it's going to be a card raising vote, just like you did last time. Every country has 2 cards, you can raise 2 cards. Green means for, which means you want the Ecoin network to be added to the bylaws. Red means against, which means you don't want the Ecoin network to be added to the bylaws. Abstain means you don't know or you don't care. Alright, repeating again. Green is for, means adding Ecoin network to the bylaws. Red is against, means not adding it to the bylaws and keeping them the way it is. Okay. Everyone ready? Get your cards. Raise them. Mexico, Peru, Colombia. What are you guys doing? Yes? All right. The bylaw amendment did not get...
We have to count what a roll call for.
No, okay. The bylaw amendment did definitely not get a 75% majority, so that means it didn't pass. You can lower your cards again. Thank you very much. Just to remind you all again, most of our motions need simple majorities, so that's a 50%. However, bylaw amendments need a 75% majority, as well as our constitutional amendments. If at one point you want to have a roll call vote, I want to remind you each and every delegate can ask for a roll call vote, just in case you're doubting how well I can distinguish the colors red and green. You can actually call for a roll call vote, and then we'll go MO by MO, and you'll have a better overview yourself. However, I'm not colorblind, luckily, so I guess for now we've managed. The chair will now entertain a motion to go into recess until the next meeting of the General Assembly. Any discussion? Any objection? We're in recess. Please stay seated. I have an announcement from Yuri. Come on up.